CM Punk retains the World Heavyweight Championship in Chicago. We have a new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Rhea Ripley is going to WrestleMania. Randy Orton wins the Chamber. We love that, Danhausen. Rhea Ripley and AJ Lee are both going to be on the show. This is the Elimination Chamber recap on WWE Now, a WWE and Fanatics original production. Oh, Megan, there it is. The sign blazing brighter than ever because we are on the road more so than we have ever been on the road to WrestleMania 42. The final PLE before WrestleMania is over. The table is set. Championship matches announced. Titles changed. The Elimination Chamber PLE, noteworthy to say the least.
Without a doubt. There were surprises. There were tickets punched to WrestleMania. There was a crate uncrated.
But the biggest news of all, Randy Orton is going to WrestleMania. This is one that people did not see coming when we did our Elimination Chamber preview WWE Now.
Yep.
Neither one of us picked Randy. We didn't see it coming, and that's the most worrisome a Viper can ever be.
Yeah, because you know what happens when he hits his finishing move?
What's
It's
that?
Typically out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, Randy Orton does it. He wins that Elimination Chamber match, an Elimination Chamber match that was up in the air as recently as last night on SmackDown when Jey Uso gets taken out, still by somebody who we don't know who they are. But that slot opens up. We see Jacob Fatu and Logan Paul compete in the main event of SmackDown thanks to Drew McIntyre. It's Jacob Fatu that loses after getting hit with that title, and Logan Paul goes to the Elimination Chamber. Logan Paul, I mean, honestly, ruining the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, there was a few moments tonight where I legitimately thought Logan Paul is winning the Elimination Chamber.
And not happily.
No, with each elimination that he picked up, I was getting madder and madder and madder, and I think you felt the same.
Yeah, I mean, dejected almost.
Yeah,
like giving up hope. Logan Paul comes in. It was a beautiful thing. He got beat up by Trick Williams and Javon Evans and Cody Rhodes all at the same time. But first, it was eliminating Javon Evans.
Yes.
Then it was taking advantage. Then it was the low blow to LA Knight.
Yes.
And the roll up that took out LA Knight. So right there, you have two dark horses that people walked into this Elimination Chamber match wanting to see. They're the first two out.
And I felt like Logan Paul ruined it for us because I was excited to see Javon Evans do some crazy things off the chamber, and Logan Paul got rid of him.
Well, yeah, we saw the one big splash off the chamber,
Yep.
but you're right. Before we could see more, Logan Paul did get rid of him. And then, of course, Trick Williams being a victim of that crossroads. But Logan Paul, for whatever reason, stealing the pin, which is the most bizarre thing that I've ever seen in an Elimination Chamber match.
Because it doesn't matter how many pins you get.
No, it's not a scored event. You just have to score the last pin.
But that's so Logan Paul because it's annoying.
Yes, it is. That's a great way to put it. That is a great way to put it. However, Logan Paul. So Logan Paul taken out of that match. The last 3 to 5 of this match is absolutely insane. And I implore the WWE, Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce, whoever has to do it, figure out how to get that chamber door shut quicker. It's like the minute somebody exits the chamber, it becomes a free-for-all. I mean, massive amounts of people just flooding into the Elimination Chamber that weren't involved in the match, right? Because we see Trick Williams get eliminated, much to the chagrin of many who were there to watch Trick whoop that Trick.
I mean, did you hear the reaction Trick got when he entered the United Center?
No surprise. Whether it's Chicago, whether it's Louisville, whether it's wherever that dude goes, he's a star. And, not one of those stars that I go, gee golly, one day could main event WrestleMania. One day, meaning April 18th or 19th of this year.
Yeah, I was scrolling through my timeline today, and everybody's like, why not Trick?
Right, you know
Just
what?
do it.
Yep, it didn't happen. And but then we see one of these masked men show up, right? And the masked man who I just watched on SmackDown, a masked man get knocked out. And they unmasked him, and it was just that dude. You're like, oh, okay, I guess that's just that dude. And he gets taken out. And then another masked man shows up. Security nabs him.
It's just another dude.
It's just a dude. Like, I guess, I mean, the dude looked happy with himself, but just some dude. But while that dude was getting taken out, a third masked man enters the ring, which I would have to imagine they bought these things in bulk. These ski masks and these
At
black
this
hoodies.
point, I mean, how many masked men have we seen in the last 6 months?
Baker's dozen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the final masked man, I would say, enters the cage, and there was something about the chamber, enters the elimination chamber, and there was something about the way he moved where it was like, oh, this isn't just a dude. You know what I mean? The way he carried himself. You were like, that's not another just random dude.
Yeah, particularly the way he delivered the stomp.
Right. Well, even the kick, but
Yeah.
then you're 100% right. The stomp takes out Logan Paul. I believe it was Cody that went for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul's eliminated.
It looked so good that there was part of me that goes, could it be? Please be.
I know.
I hope it is.
I know.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It's Seth Rollins.
And then he rips the mask off, and there he is, Seth Rollins. I mean, the sounds coming from the mouth of Paul Heyman. Well, I mean, just emotional diarrhea.
Yeah, I
It's
think.
exploding out of Paul Heyman.
I mean, United Center is situated on the west side of Chicago. I think they could hear him all the way up in Evanston, Illinois.
Oh yeah, for sure. Rosemont was getting it.
Yes.
For sure.
I mean, his sounds were echoing. I'm calling them sounds because I
Sounds.
don't know how else to describe them.
What? No! Ah! Like everything was going according to plan.
Someone needs to check in on Paul.
And by the way, you know what it is too? It's because Paul's back is up against the wall because things are not going to plan for the Vision. You know what I mean? Braun Breaker out of the picture. Bronson Reed out of the picture. Logan Paul finally gets that moment to step up. And listen, say what you want about him. He looked strong in this match.
Yep.
He did step up, and it was like you realize that Logan Paul is this guy. Logan Paul's main event at pay-per-views with Floyd Mayweather, okay? He knows how to main event a pay-per-view. But who's going to ruin it but this masked man? And when the masked man took off it was the opposite of your reaction. You were very enthused. You were happy that it was Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman looked like he had seen a ghost. I mean, talk about the chickens coming home to roost. That's what Paul Heyman was going through. He had not planned on this being Seth Rollins at all, which is ironic because at the Royal Rumble, Paul Heyman was the one guy going, that's Seth Rollins. That's Seth Rollins. And that's almost like, that's the look on Paul Heyman's face when he realizes that Paul Heyman was right. And Seth Rollins just looking down. Now, Seth Rollins, I thought, was in a very complicated place because while, yes, he took out Logan Paul, and I'm sure he was happy to cost the Vision this chance to main event WrestleMania with Drew McIntyre with the WWE Championship on the line. The reality is, he just helped Cody Rhodes.
I know, and I was just looking at the tension between Cody and Seth when they're looking back at each other, and all of a sudden, all these flashbacks are going through my head. I'm thinking of last year at the Elimination Chamber when Seth Rollins stomped CM Punk. I'm thinking of when Seth Rollins was Cody Rhodes' shield for Cody Rhodes to finish his story, and here he is again. Here is Seth Rollins, and it looks like Cody Rhodes has the opportunity once again to win the Elimination Chamber.
Well, I mean, Seth Rollins couldn't have set the table more. But again, now Logan Paul has to leave. Now Seth Rollins is going to leave. And they don't, I mean, I don't know if they have to make the door smaller or if you know, I don't know I don't know how they do this. But more people just flood in there because now Cody Rhodes is standing up and Drew McIntyre is able to get into this chamber and he said he was going to do it.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd really be watching.
Of course. I mean, Nick Aldis needs to be on this. You always get on Adam Pearce about how Pearce isn't doing a great job.
And he's not.
I think you need to hold Nick Aldis a little bit more accountable, especially when we're talking about Drew McIntyre, because he's been doing whatever the hell he wants.
Well, I mean, both, right? What brand does Seth Rollins wrestle for?
Raw.
Neither one of those general managers know how to secure an elimination chamber.
That's
The whole purpose of the elimination chamber is that those 6 guys are the only ones in there. Nobody can get in. It's like the Wonka factory. Nobody ever goes in and nobody ever comes out. Except here, everybody comes in.
I would just like Nick Aldis to keep a better eye, particularly on Drew McIntyre.
Well, I don't know if you had seen the beginning of the post show. Well, I'll tell you about it in a second because he also feels that pressure, I think, on him. Because Drew gets in. He hits Cody in the back of the head with the title. He's beating up Cody Rhodes, right?
Yep.
Now Randy Orton's in there. Randy fights Drew McIntyre off. And I'm sitting there going, Randy, what are you doing?
Why are you helping Cody again?
Let it happen. Like, if you look at this chain of events, the reason that Drew McIntyre is the WWE champion, he would tell you he was going to get out of the cage regardless. However, the circumstance being what the circumstance was, if Jacob Fatu was going to interfere in that match, Jacob Fatu went in and started beating up Drew McIntyre. If Cody had walked out of the cage, he would have gotten the WWE championship. He would have still been champion today. Cody did not walk out of the cage. He interfered, and he got Jacob Fatu away from Drew McIntyre. Now the physicalities on the other end gave Drew McIntyre a chance to escape. As if we hadn't learned from this, we go to the Elimination Chamber qualifier. Drew McIntyre gets involved. He beats up Jacob Fatu, like Jacob pointed out on SmackDown. He Claymored Jacob. He Claymored Cody. He didn't Claymore Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn got involved, and it created the distraction that Cody Rhodes needed to hit Crossroads. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm watching this chamber match, and Randy is getting involved in business that isn't his. And I'm going, what are you doing, Randy? Now, I did recall that a week ago, Drew McIntyre cost Randy Orton that match with Aleister Black. And I'm sure that doesn't sit well with Randy Orton. But maybe I shouldn't have been concerned, right? Because after he beats up Drew McIntyre, Randy is a 3D chess player. I think he might have done this on purpose. He's beating up Drew McIntyre, but it's just some shots. He didn't RKO him.
No.
He didn't go crazy. He just got him off of Cody.
Just warming up a little bit.
That's it. Just enough for Cody to hit Drew with Crossroads, which once again, history repeats itself. Provides Randy Orton all that Randy Orton needs to be waiting for Cody and take his good friend Cody and gently cup his head into his arms and slam him to the ground with an RKO. 1, 2, 3. A situation that I think not a lot of people saw coming. Randy Orton takes advantage of it, as he should have. And Randy Orton wins the Elimination Chamber match.
Now, last night on SmackDown, there was a lot of tension between all 6 competitors that were in the Elimination Chamber.
Well, we saw the tension before we even knew it was all 6, right?
That's right.
Right.
Before it was all, yes, it was between the 5, because Logan Paul wasn't in the match yet. Jey Uso had just gotten taken out.
But to your point, there's always tension with Logan Paul.
That's right. But anyways, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, they exchanged really a tense stare down.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And it brought me back to all of the many, many months that we saw Randy Orton eyeing that title, eyeing that championship on Cody Rhodes. And when Cody Rhodes lost the title, I was wondering, is this about Cody or is this about the title? And I think our answer was given to us tonight.
It was always about the title.
That Randy Orton, he was able to get the job done.
Yes, he was able to get the job done and
pull the trigger,
take one step closer to being the 15-time champion. Now, I want to tell you about Nick Aldis, but the other thing that I want to tell you about is that Pays. How you know about Pays?
No, I don't.
Let me tell you about this.
Yeah,
From title belts to spectacular shorts,
spectacular
WWE merch at Fanatics is 30% off
deals
when you use Pays, which is a fast, easy online checkout that is offered by banks and credit unions. With Pays, your actual card numbers aren't shared with merchants, so you can snag your Fanatic swag with added security. Use Pays with code PAYSPERKS, that's PAZEPERKS, for 30% off at Fanatics until March 31st, 2026. Terms apply at fanatics.com/PaysPromo. So when we start this post show, Randy Orton is, he's out there with the fans, kissing babies, slapping hands.
Heck yeah.
Because, he did his job.
He's going to WrestleMania.
He's just feeling good about himself.
Yeah.
And he should, in the right spot, the championship match. But backstage, Nick Aldis is losing his mind. Nick Aldis blowing a gasket. Nick Aldis and Drew McIntyre. And Drew's sitting there going, like, I told you I was going to do this. Nick Aldis has said, this is exactly what I told you not to do. Not to do. But from Drew's perspective, it's almost like he's the champ. You know what I mean? He's the guy who's running the show. You didn't get a chance to see it?
No, I didn't see
I think
it.
we have it.
Okay,
You know what I
let's
mean?
see it.
If we could share it with you guys. Look at this. Look at this. He comes in looking for Drew.
Oh, he's fuming.
Fuming. I love Drew. What do you mean? What'd I do? What do you mean? I mean, I would.
Oh,
be
they're
surprised.
holding Nick Aldis back.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like if
Oh, there's Danilo.
if I didn't know that Randy Orton was going to WrestleMania to fight Drew McIntyre, I think Nick Aldis was going to WrestleMania to fight Drew McIntyre. I mean, Nick Aldis has been pushed to the brink.
I mean, in Drew's defense, he did tell him that he was going to do it.
And in Nick Aldis'
That's my truth-telling champion right there.
In Nick Aldis' defense, he specifically told him, "Don't do that. Don't do it.
And
don't."
he said, "I'm not listening."
Well, guess what? Now we have to. Now we're in a Cody Rhodes measuring contest, to use terms.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now we have to figure out who's in charge of the show.
And I think Drew won.
Tonight he did. Are they playing FAFO?
I don't know,
Oh,
but if
my
they
God.
are, it's Drew 1, Nick Aldis 0.
Drew's got a lot of points in the FAFO.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Paul Heyman's still not doing well with that
No,
game, by the way.
no.
Yeah, so it'll be. I mean, it's going to be really
God, if Paul
interesting
Heyman
to
can
see.
find a way to come back, that'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, I think so. Is that official? Control Room? Did that just get announced? Okay,
What?
it was just announced on the post show. This is crazy. I love that it's all happening Friday on SmackDown. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the
What?
WWE Championship.
This Friday?
I guess it's this Friday on SmackDown. Which, I mean, that doesn't seem. Look, I guess if it's Randy Orton, what difference does it make to him?
Yeah.
So we may go to WrestleMania. That's why we don't have a graphic. We don't have a graphic of Drew and Randy, right? We don't have a graphic. So it's not, yeah. Because we don't have, I saw the graphic for Rhea and Jade. We do not have a graphic for Cody.
And I saw the the Punk Roman graphic.
Well, that's beneficial.
Yeah.
But we don't have a graphic for Drew and Randy, which means it's not official. So Drew, this whole mission, it wasn't necessarily just about making Cody's life difficult. Drew's whole thing was, Cody, you can't have a championship match.
Yeah, why does he get a rematch?
He
There was
should
a-
get, because
there was no rematch clause.
well, he probably got. I would imagine. I didn't watch the post show. I was doing this show, but I would imagine it's because Drew McIntyre has interfered in every opportunity that Cody Rhodes has had.
Because Drew's not following the rules, so why does...
Well, because Drew literally eliminated Cody Rhodes from the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Drew wasn't in the match. Drew was responsible for Cody Rhodes getting eliminated from the Elimination Chamber. Drew wasn't in that match either. So it's like, it's one thing to say you don't get a rematch. It's another thing to manipulate the results
It's true.
in every match. So it's almost like you're getting to a point where, as champion, you're picking and choosing who your opponents are because you're just interfering in every qualifier.
Yeah.
Right? So I would imagine that has to be the thinking that goes in because, look, if I'm Paul Heyman, I'm going to try to step up to the plate and see if I can get something for Logan Paul because there was interference there too, but it wasn't interference from Drew McIntyre. That, I think, is the egregious thing here. And this isn't the first time that Drew interfered in the Royal Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
Drew interfered
Saturday night's main event.
in the Saturday night's main event match. Yeah, but yes. I mean, it wasn't a qualifier per se, but he was involved. But he did interfere in the Elimination Chamber qualifier.
Yep.
He interfered in the second elimination qualifier with Jacob Fatu last night, and now he's interfered in the Elimination Chamber match. So I think that would be where Nick Aldis, and honestly, if Nick Aldis doesn't do something, he looks like a bump on a log.
Yeah, at some point, this clause, you just...
Well, it's not even a rematch at this point. It's just like, this guy deserves the match because you keep interfering in his matches. You know what I mean? This isn't we're giving him a rematch because he used to be champion. We're giving him a match because you won't let him win matches anymore. You're interfering and going back to Saturday night's main event. You're making sure he doesn't win any of his matches.
And at some point, there's no choice, right?
You got yeah. Like, it's never gonna happen because you keep interfering. Even though I tell you, like, he was like, you're not on the show. And Drew's like, well, I'm going to hang out in this luxury box. So you go, okay, you can hang out in the luxury box. And he just came right down and interfered in the match. You know what I mean? Like, so I would imagine that is where That's where Nick Aldis
And
is
Cody
coming
wants
from.
to fight him. I mean, we saw Cody come down
He's
at
been
the
fighting
start,
to fight him.
at the beginning of SmackDown last night.
He's been coming down to SmackDown every single week. Everybody wants to
Please,
fight
right
Drew
now.
McIntyre. Jacob wants to fight Drew McIntyre. Cody wants to fight Drew McIntyre. The only one who gets to fight Drew McIntyre is Randy Orton.
Well,
And now that Nick Aldis has stepped forward and said that on SmackDown. So, I mean, that's so crazy that Drew's title reign might not actually make it to WrestleMania. You would think, I mean, and I guess that wouldn't be unprecedented, but you kind of feel like once this PLE is over, that's the last PLE before WrestleMania, we're kind of set in stone. We're on the road.
I mean, you and I sat down to record the preview podcast, and we were talking about how we'd probably leave here Saturday night with 4 graphics of what WrestleMania would look like.
Yeah.
And we'd feel pretty good about it.
We got 3 graphics, right? We have
Roman Punk,
Roman Punk,
Rhea Jade. Have we seen a Liv Stephanie?
Well, we saw the breaking news
Yes.
graphic. Yeah, that counts enough. So there's
So
3, but we don't have the 4th
we
graphic.
don't have the 4th.
And we're definitely not getting it. They're not going to do a graphic because
But
think
who's
about
going to be
it.
the champion?
Right. Because in 5 days there's another championship match. So like the graphics team's not gonna. They're gonna go like, well, wait 5 days. We're gonna make 2 graphics. We'll just wait 5 days and then make a graphic after that. Because otherwise, And it's like, okay, I get that.
Well, graphics are a big deal.
Yeah, they're not paid by the hour. So it's like we're not gonna make infinity graphics. Tell us what the match is, then we'll make the graphic.
Yeah.
And that's why these graphics are so important. That's why I base everything on the graphics. Man, well, there's utter chaos. Obviously, coming out of the men's elimination chamber match, Nick Aldis is trying to keep everything together. I think we're a little bit more cut and dry with the women's division on SmackDown.
Yes.
We have a challenger for Jade Cargill's title. Her name is Rhea Ripley, and she joins us on the WWE Now Elimination Chamber recap. Welcome to WWE Now. Fresh off of the Elimination Chamber, the winner of the 2026 Women's Elimination Chamber match, the woman who is going to WrestleMania to compete for the WWE Women's Championship, Rhea Bloody Ripley. Rhea, how are you?
I'm alive. So there's that. I'm feeling great. I really am. Like, as much as my body is not feeling the best right now, mentally, I am feeling awesome. Obviously, going into the match, I was a little bit everywhere because of what happened on SmackDown last night with me and Io losing our tag team championships. But I feel on top of the world right now. I feel like I did her proud. I feel like I won that one for Io, and I just punched my golden ticket to WrestleMania against Jade Cargill, someone who I've never stepped in the ring with. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, have you thought about that as well? I mean, I think that a year ago, or maybe a little more than a year ago, the last time you held a singles women's championship, there was no question about who was on top of the division. You are all of a sudden, you've spent several months as part of a tag team, and that tag team division has been building and building and building. But literally over the course of 24 hours, I think everybody just woke up and remembered, oh yeah, Rhea Ripley is the singles wrestler that stood on top of this division, and a lot of people forgot. Is there a part of you that is ready to return to that type of business?
I love when people forget, because then they're doubting me, and that's what I thrive on. That's what I've always thrived on. Obviously, I'm still so sad about Io and I losing. Like, I was really looking forward to defending our women's tag team championships at WrestleMania, but that doesn't mean that I'm not ready to go into the singles action either. Like, I've always been ready. I've always stayed ready. That's the whole point of being a champion. And just because I don't hold a belt now doesn't mean that I'm not going to hold a belt after WrestleMania.
It's really interesting, your relationship with WrestleMania, I think, because, I mean, last year it was a matter of you trying to win your title back that you had just lost like a month or month and a half before WrestleMania. But in WrestleManias prior, you can really kind of track your career by WrestleMania is I feel like at WrestleMania 40, it was like, is Rhea Ripley that big match wrestler that can win a match against Becky Lynch? Before that, it's, is she even ready for WrestleMania? Before that, it's like, it has always felt to me like a testing ground for you. And in the last several years, you keep passing those tests and passing those tests and passing those tests to the point that I think that you're beyond being tested. Have you thought about, I mean, I know it's only been minutes, but have you thought about what it's going to feel like going into WrestleMania, not as somebody who is being tested, but as somebody who has graduated to the point that maybe you are the test?
I like the way you put that. I do like the way you put that, because I'm Rhea Bloody Ripley.
Yes.
I am the test. So I think that seeing the two names, Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill, next to each other, that's a big match feel. That's something that people get excited for. But the thing that Jade doesn't realize, and she hasn't really been taking into consideration the last few weeks when she's been coming up and talking crap and just staring me down, is that I am who I am. And yeah, it's going to be a challenge for me because she's new. I've never stepped in the ring with her before. She's obviously strong. She's intimidating, but I don't get intimidated. I really don't. And I don't know if that's smart or stupidity by my part, but I don't really get intimidated by a lot. So I'm going into WrestleMania and she can think that she's, excuse my French, but the top bitch all she wants, and she's that bitch and she's all that. But like, she's not. She's still new here. And just because she holds a title doesn't mean that she's walking in any better than I am. Because I'm Rhea Bloody Ripley, and I'm going to remind her exactly who the hell I am over these past few weeks, and over the next few weeks, and over WrestleMania weekend when I put boots to asses and I kick her butt.
Rhea, I think we're all so excited to see you back in singles action. I mean, the reaction from the audience just when you make your entrance is completely undeniable. But what you and Io Sky formed as Rio was really special. So special, in fact, that you sit down with us just minutes after punching your ticket to WrestleMania and you say, I feel like I won that match for Io tonight. So what is the future for Rio, and what's your relationship with Io Sky moving forward?
There's always been respect between Io and I, no matter what we're doing. And moving forward, the respect will still be there. Obviously, I want to be there for her through whatever she's going through and whatever comes. And I know that she's got my back with everything that's going to be coming in my direction as well, with SmackDown and Jade. But I can't read the future. Obviously, the tag team stuff might have to be put on hold for a little bit, but whatever she's doing, I'm still going to be there for her, and vice versa. I don't know. It's kind of sad to think about, because I feel like Io's kind of been in my life here in the WWE over the past, like, what, year and a half? Like, we've been pretty much inseparable, whether we've been facing each other or we've been tagging together, just like growing that bond. I've seen her family betray her. She's seen my family betray me. And we've been there and we've helped each other through everything. And she's kind of been the one to pull me out of that dark place where I didn't trust anyone. Like, I didn't think that friends were real. I didn't think that I could form a bond with anyone and trust anyone. And then there's Io being a little ray of sunshine that you just can't help but to love. And yeah, it's going to be weird. It's going to be very, very weird. I can't tell exactly what's going to happen, but if she ever needs me, I'm going to be there, and vice versa. I know she's got my back through thick and thin.
When you look at who was in that chamber match tonight, and you look at what the women's division looks like right now and how strong and how deep this division is, I think one of the reasons is that you have people in that chamber match that were on the main roster before you, like Alexa Bliss. You have people that came up around the same time as you, and you have people that have come up since you've kind of established yourself on the main roster as the top person, like a Kiana James. You were in the ring with Lash Legend last night, and she got a pin over you. What is it like for you right now, who I feel like within the last year and a half, like you were just saying, is when I think that you fully established that you're the top superstar in the division. And then an entirely new generation came right under you and said, nope, it's our time now. Just as you kind of sink your teeth into it and go, I did it. You have no time on top before this next division, this next generation comes in and goes, we're here for the top spot. For you to now already be in that position where you're an established superstar. And you could say Jade Cargill too, that is defending that spot that you had to work to get. How does it feel?
Honestly, it might be weird, but it feels good. It feels really good. I always love a challenge. That's why I'm here in the WWE. I challenged myself every step of the way and I made it here. So why not invite some more challenges? I'm always here for a battle. I'm always here for the brutality. I'm here for a fair fight, but a real fight, you know? And Bianca and I used to say it when we were coming up. I might have stolen it from her, but, you know, I'm going to claim it as well. You don't have to leave, but you're going to have to move over. And I remember us saying that to the 4 horsewomen. And now we're in that spot because we did take over. They might have moved over a little bit, but we've kind of taken over. And now the new generation's here. And they're knocking at the door and they're scratching it and pushing it and punching it open. And I invite it. I invite it because it means that the women's division is thriving. It means that we get bigger matches, more intense matches. And I get to pull out a little bit different moveset here and there, especially with someone like Lash Legend. Normally, I'm the bigger person in the ring. And it's very, very rare for me to be the smaller person. But with her, she's so incredibly strong. Like I don't think people give her enough credit because she is an insanely strong woman. Like last night, she put my leg over her head, picked me up to the point that I couldn't even touch the floor with my hands. And I felt like a defenseless little animal. So there's that. But at the same time, I invite that challenge. I thrive in the chaos of people doubting me. And I love it. Like I really do love it. So what do? I sit up, I start punching her in the head and I go for a sunset flip, you know, like it's just what we do. So I'm glad that the newbies are knocking because I'm here to defend my spot at the top and remind everyone exactly who Rhea Ripley is.
I mean, speaking of new movesets tonight, you standing on top of that chamber, I mean, that was like a game-changing moment for sure. And like just kind of swantoning into Raquel that's on the top turnbuckle. It's one thing to envision that before you're going out there and to think like, okay, yeah, that may be something that I do tonight. When you're standing on top of that chamber, which is, I think, higher above the top rope than people realize, and I'm sure from your perspective it was, and you have that here goes nothing moment. What was that like?
Yeah. Coming from someone who doesn't really like heights and is scared of that falling feeling, I don't know what was going through my mind at that time, but I just know that I wanted to win. So who better but Raquel to flip onto? Because I know that she's not going to want to budge, so it might help me a little bit with the falling situation. But at the end of the day, I'm also going to land on her, so I get a bit of a cushion. So I don't know. It's really scary standing on top of the pods. Like it's literally so much higher than people think, especially when you're standing, because then you're even higher because you're your height as well on top of that. So to do something like a cannonball, man, I wasn't really thinking. I was just thinking about winning, and that's what's so dangerous about me sometimes.
That is, it's a little psychotic. Speaking of psychotic, actually, that's a great transition.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Is there, WrestleMania is now where we're going. And there is something about you. You've become one of those superstars that the minute the first note of the music hits, the minute your presence is felt, there's just an instant change in the room. And it's clear that this is what we've paid a ticket to see. And part of that is the aesthetic, is the visual that you provide. And I'm thinking about War Games. I'm thinking about all the amazing looks. Is there any thought of reaching out to Damian Leone and bringing Art the Clown in for a WrestleMania cameo? I mean, it would make my life.
It would make my life too. I would absolutely love that. Oh man, now you got me thinking.
Yeah.
It's hard because
Ooh.
like I was so prepared to communicate with Io and plan a together outfit for us. Now
Ah.
I have free range for myself, and it's like now I get to be creative on my own and make it something for me. So maybe having Art the Clown there would be really cool. Like I would love that. Don't tempt me with a good time. Like I would like my little serial killer clown to get me revved up to go out there and be the little serial killer that I want to be.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Rhea, congratulations. I'm so excited to see
Thank
you go back into WrestleMania, go back into a championship match, get one of those Rhea Bloody Ripley moments. And I mean, you're 100% right. And it's something Megan and I have been talking about as we were speculating as to who could win Elimination Chamber. Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill on a poster together. I mean, that is what a giant wrestling match
What you buy a ticket
looks
for.
like. It is. It's spectacle. That is what a spectacle is, and I can't wait to see it. So, congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, huge thanks to Rhea Ripley. I mean, minutes after winning the Elimination
awesome.
Chamber,
So awesome.
sitting down with us here on the Elimination Chamber recap on WWE Now. And I've got to tell you, it's a big time. You can celebrate Rhea Ripley's Elimination Chamber victory with this official winner's tee. The Rhea Ripley, look at that with the purple on top. The Rhea Ripley Elimination Chamber winner's tee is available now on WWE Shop and Fanatics. It looks amazing. By the way, you can also get, as much as Nick Aldis is trying to figure everything out, the Randy Orton Elimination Chamber victory t-shirt. You can celebrate the victory with the official winner's t-shirt. Look at that with the Viper and everything on it.
So cool.
Available now at WWE Shop and Fanatics. And of course, what a night in Chicago. You can keep the hometown energy going with the exclusive CM Punk Chicago Blackhawks collection, including the Signature Series Spinner Championship title. 2 icons, 1 city. Shop now before it's gone at WWE Shop and Fanatics. That is one cool title. Now, we were just talking to Rhea Ripley about this women's Elimination Chamber match, about the swanton she pulled, whatever that was. She called it a cannonball. It was just, I'm going to throw my body at you
Yes.
off this chamber. Great chamber match for the women. I thought Kiana James looked incredible.
Oh, what a match for Kiana James. I
Yes.
love starting off with Tiffany Stratton, and there was one point where there was 4 contestants in the Elimination Chamber, and Kiana James was standing tall, and there was just 3 bodies scattered beside her, and they were all bodies of former champions in Tiffany
Yes.
Stratton, in Alexa Bliss, and in Asuka. And I thought, wow, is the future bright for Kiana James?
Yes, absolutely. You wonder what the future is going to be like for the Kabuki Warriors, for Alexa Bliss, for Charlotte. Alexa
Seriously.
Bliss eliminated first. I guess Charlotte can stop eating ice cream. She doesn't have to worry about Alexa Bliss going to WrestleMania.
She did seem a little worried. She said she was fine.
She said she was okay.
Yeah, but as Wade Barrett told us, when a woman says they're fine, they're never fine.
I assure you, they are not. Which has been my experience too. But I will
I'm
say,
fine.
oh boy, Alexa Bliss got misted and eliminated first from the Elimination Chamber, which I thought was a surprise. I thought Raquel Rodriguez was a real standout in this match. A Tahana bomb stacking up Asuka on top of Kiana James after Kiana got smashed through a chamber
How about that stack elimination?
to pin them both at the same time.
I was like, is this WrestleMania 37?
Whoa. Whoa,
Come on.
whoa. We're not going to start comparing people to the Tribal Chief,
All
okay?
right, all right.
Okay. I mean, like, let's.
That's my big sexy
let-
over there, all right?
No. She's big, sexy for sure. We love Raquel. But let's not start comparing people to Tribal Chief, okay? These are things we
I
can't
haven't
take
seen
back.
a stack since then, and I got all kinds of excited.
Okay, what's an exciting thing, but we don't.
Okay.
That's a
right.
different thing.
Okay.
Okay, that's a totally different thing. And by the way, Roman Reigns had his own statements to make about
We're gonna get to
this
that.
show. We will get to that. We will absolutely get to
juicy.
that. However, it was not after Rhea's leap off the chamber. That was kind of all she wrote for Raquel. And then you ended up with Tiffany Stratton being the Iron Woman of this match, starting the match and ending the match, but her match was ended in a way that she didn't want it to go. Rhea Ripley wins this thing, and I thought it was interesting hearing the discussion with Rhea that even going into this chamber match, it seemed like Rhea Ripley still looked at herself as a tag team wrestler. They lost the tag team championships, her and Io Sky, last night on SmackDown to Lash Legend and Nia Jax, the Irresistible Forces. Looking at Rhea Ripley as she points at that WrestleMania sign, and I was telling you this before, I was saying it on the WWE Now podcast, I was saying it everywhere. It just feels right.
Yes.
It just feels right that Rhea Ripley would be in a singles championship match at WrestleMania. And I love Rio. I love the tag team. But when you look at this graphic, which, as I said, is gospel, Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley is a spectacle. It's an attraction. It's just big.
I mean, you think about when Jade Cargill signed with WWE before she even had a match. You
Yeah.
could see all these different appearances of Jade Cargill. She was down in NXT. She was walking around backstage at Raw. She was walking around backstage at SmackDown. She was sitting ringside. All of these different interactions that she had. And one of them, throughout all of them, you're thinking, oh, I'd love to see Jade Cargill with this person. I'd love to see Jade Cargill with that person. Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill is a dream match. It's a
what
dream
if.
scenario.
It was a what if.
Yeah.
And now we're going to find out what if April 18th or 19th in Las Vegas at WrestleMania. It's a massive match for Jade Cargill. And it's really interesting because she carries herself like she's so above it all, like she's such a superstar. But this is by far the biggest match in Jade Cargill's career.
She says she's that.
I know what she says.
All right.
And and for Rhea Ripley, I think we touched on it with her. And I think it's probably hard, like within a 24-hour period, you lose the tag team championship, you win the Elimination Chamber, you're just trying to get back down to earth. But the reality is that, like, a lot of other WrestleMania matches for Rhea Ripley, either it's last year, where it was really not about Rhea Ripley, it was about Io. Every year before that has been about Rhea Ripley arriving.
Yep.
Arriving on different levels. And that goes all the way to WrestleMania 40, when some would argue that she already was the Eradicator. She already was Rhea Ripley. But having Becky Lynch as that challenge was that kind of last piece of the puzzle for Rhea Ripley. And I don't think that there's been a time that she's walked into WrestleMania like this in a position where she's not coming in to prove herself in any way, shape, or form. She's coming in to go, okay, I spent some time in the tag division, but I just need to remind you guys who I am. You guys seem to have forgotten. You know, a lot of people got very confident in my absence in this singles division. So now it's time to remind you guys who I am.
And this is where I belong, and I haven't gone anywhere.
And it's going to be really interesting because however that match goes, I would argue if Jade Cargill beats Rhea Ripley, if Rhea Ripley beats Jade Cargill, if I'm Lash Legend,
Oh, she pinned her.
I'm sitting there going, the night before Chamber, I pinned Rhea Ripley. Whether I'm a tag team, I'm a tag team champion right now. I'd like to be singles champion as well. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be in line for that title. But I can't wait. I can't wait to see what Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill looks like at WrestleMania.
And I mean, you heard from Rhea Ripley talking about just the different size of these women in the division now, and going in there with someone like Lash Legend and how she can do different moves because she's used to being the bigger person. Well, I kept thinking about what is it going to look like when she's in there with Jade Cargill.
That's exactly right. Talk about size, right?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, that was one of the big moments at Elimination Chamber, as was Randy Orton winning. There were a ton of them. And, you know, who captures milestone moments and viral moments from the biggest events? That, of course, is Topps now. They always do it, you know. Before every PLE, Topps puts out the poster cards, and they did it again for Elimination Chamber. The Elimination 2026 poster card featuring CM Punk and AJ Lee. Collectors who buy the base card, they will have the chance to receive rainbow foil short prints and even gold super short print, limited to 26 copies. If you're watching on YouTube, there's the gold 1 out of 26 short print that you can get. The card is only available until Monday, March 2nd at 3 p.m. Eastern, so make sure that you get it now. As always, make sure that you're following at Topps on social and sign up for notifications on Topps.com so you don't miss the big moment cards coming out of Elimination Chamber. And of course, tune in to WWE Now on Tuesday for more card info and graphics. And I got to tell you, I would be shocked if AJ Lee doesn't have a card, or a CM Punk AJ Lee celebration card. We were just talking about Becky Lynch. Big moment for her tonight. Not in a positive way, in any way, shape, or form. Becky Lynch lost the Intercontinental Championship.
And who was the referee?
We'll get there. However,
I have to cough. Excuse me. Excuse me. No, that was for real. I really.
Nobody thinks you were faking it.
I wasn't.
I mean, I was just about to throw to an interview. You could have saved yourself the embarrassment.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know where you were going. And I was
about to throw it.
If Sam gets any sense that I need to cough, he's going to continue talking.
Yeah, no. I was just about to throw. So I'm going to throw it now that we've seen that. Now that we've seen that. Listen, you know what AJ Lee did right after winning the Intercontinental? AJ Lee, here's what her schedule was. AJ Lee won the Intercontinental Championship. Then she watched CM Punk retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Then she came right to WWE Now to break it down with us. Welcome to WWE Now, the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, AJ Lee. There it is. There's the title. AJ, not a set. You have side plates already. Oh, they were ready.
Already.
Wow.
They believed in me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, me saying that sentence out loud a year ago is not a sentence I thought I would be saying. Is it? I mean, you living this reality. Would you have pictured this a year ago?
No, I honestly wouldn't have pictured it a few months ago. My goal was not to, I don't know if I had particular like milestone goals. I think I was just so excited to come back to this world when it felt really healthy and really safe and really fun, and just like have a blast and have the time of my life. And I think the really fun part was not having those goals and not being like, I have to do this. I did all the things I wanted to do. And I didn't think I was going to keep adding to the list of accomplishments. And so this is like a really pleasant surprise, and I'm very grateful. And man, these are some sprinkles on top of the sundae right now.
I mean, you know better than anybody what wrestling does to people, especially someone like you who has loved wrestling as long as you have, and I know that very well, and has fought to achieve the things that you achieved in WWE and obviously continue to achieve. Wrestling has a way of, whether you intend for it or not, sucking you back in. Like I just put a foot in, I just put a little bit in, and now all of a sudden you're engulfed again. Are you starting to feel that a little bit?
I mean, kind of, but I'm keeping very kind to myself and to my heart, and just saying, I'm not expecting anything. I'm not going to plan too far ahead. I'm just going to like give every moment my best, and maybe every moment is my last moment, but I'm going to try and make it count. Man, I kind of thought it was just going to come in. We're going to have this fun tag match, and I was going to defend my husband's honor. And I've just been having so much fun. Yeah, I keep coming back. So we'll see what happens. But this has been such a blast, and just really cool. Really like healing in a lot of ways, too.
Well, AJ, you said something very interesting on the Countdown show with Michael Cole in that sit-down interview, and you were talking about the word evolution and how a lot of times you plant the seeds to make the world better, but you never get to stick around to appreciate what those seeds grow into. And now you're actually getting the rare chance. You planted the seeds in the women's division. Now you're back. The women's division looks entirely different, and you're a champion. So what does it feel like to see all of these seeds grown and you're a part of it?
Surreal, because honestly, you do just hope, everything's better for people who come after you. And you're so, it warms my heart to have seen what they've accomplished. And I feel so lucky to be able to be just in their locker room. But now I've got something I think maybe a lot of them are going to try and come for. So I've been, just praising them. They're all so wonderful and so talented. I've been saying I want to get in the ring with them. I might have to now.
Yeah. A lot of new doors have all of a sudden been open. Like you said, you come back for the tag match, and when you're in a tag match, as physical as it gets and as big a deal as it is, you're looking over there. CM Punk is over there. Seth Rollins is over here. Like, there's other things going on. When you go into the War Games match, you have teammates in the War Games match. You had your first singles match tonight in over a decade. How did it feel once you got into it and you looked around the ring and you realized it was back to AJ Lee business?
Oh man, it was a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. It was really great to have, the best in the world in the tag and have the best tag teams in the world in another tag and just feel like that support. But I was on my own and Becky is no slouch. So I just knew I was gonna, if I didn't give it to her, I was gonna get my ass handed to me. So it was a little scary. I'm really happy it happened here, because what I needed was a little extra support, and Chicago gave me that. So I'm really grateful to Chicago for all of my title wins have been here, for most of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing thing. And your husband was also able to retain the World Heavyweight Championship in Chicago. I remember distinctly CM Punk winning a championship in Chicago and that title going in the fridge. Is there any possibility that tonight we get 2 championships inside the refrigerator?
I mean, we haven't gone food shopping in a minute. It's been a crazy week, so it is pretty empty. There's some space for lots of carbs and cookies and cake and maybe some old pizza, and then possibly the IC title if I'm not sleeping with it tonight.
I love it. Well, AJ Lee, thank you so much for joining us here on WWE Now. And really, I mean, as a former WWE Divas champion, congratulations on not only being here to see the women's division in such a prosperous place that there is a women's intercontinental title, but now being the women's intercontinental champion.
I mean, who would have thought? Look at us.
Look at us. Not me. Thank you, AJ. Thanks to AJ Lee for making the time after winning the Intercontinental Championship at the Elimination Chamber, making some time to share that moment with us. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Wow, you're about to be a lot better than fine, because the #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, returns to the Javits Center in New York City from July 16th through the 19th, 2026. Fanatics has just announced the return of Fanatics Games, bringing back its high-stakes cross-sport competitors from everyday fans that go head-to-head with some of the biggest name in sports. The 2026 Fanatics Games introduces an expanded format, a $2 million total prize pool, and new nationwide qualifying opportunities for fans to compete alongside elite athletes. The inaugural winner, Tom Brady. Yes, that Tom Brady, as well as last year's runner-up UFC fighter Justin Gaethje and reigning fan champion Matt Denish will all be back. Additional athletes joining Brady and Gaethje for a shot at the title include WWE superstars Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso. Head to fanaticsfest.com to apply to compete or grab your tickets to Fanatics Fest. You don't want to miss out.
We played a big role in that last year.
Huge role. We were judging superstar entrances. That was one of the great games within Fanatics Fest. And we did a fabulous job judging. Speaking of doing a fabulous job, AJ Lee soundly beating Becky Lynch to win the Intercontinental Championship tonight. Huge night for AJ Lee, so you could congratulate her.
I just wonder how she feels about using an exposed turnbuckle to win her first championship back in WWE.
Who exposed it?
Tenure. Becky Lynch
Yeah.
exposed it.
Who ran into it?
Becky Lynch ran
Yeah.
into it.
Who attempted to hit AJ Lee's head into it?
Becky did.
Cool. And so then after she did hit her head on the turnbuckle that she exposed, she found herself for the second time in the match in the Black Widow submission. And as she had done twice before, not tonight, she did do it earlier tonight, but as she had done in the tag team match at WrestlePalooza, as she had done in the War Games match, Becky Lynch taps out to that Black Widow. She knows now once she gets in that thing, she ain't getting out.
I don't even know how Corrupt Car got this assignment. I don't know how this continues to happen.
I mean, she's a standard official.
Yeah, but there's clearly a bias and there's some issues.
Well, they let you podcast, and you have a bias so bad you could barely swallow.
I'm just having a hard time with the fact that Becky Lynch is no longer the Women's Intercontinental Champion.
Apparently, you're having a physical reaction to it.
I am.
I can't believe it happened. I know it's hard to say. Say it with me.
No,
AJ
I
Lee.
can't.
Just say it. Say AJ Lee
AJ Lee
is
I'm not saying that.
our
How about the
new
new
women's.
women's
Let me see if she starts coughing, guys. Make sure the water's ready. Intercontinental.
Intercontinental
Now say champion.
Champion.
She said it. She said, way to go, Megan, and you got it all out. You are a
You
pro.
tried to get me to say my. She's not my.
Oh, well, she's the.
She is the.
And she's mine.
For now.
She's mine. She's the. Holding that title up. Who would have thought? Remember, you said on the podcast she could not do this. She clearly did do it. AJ Lee, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, after over 10 years gone from singles competition, she's back, and she is now a champion headed in to WrestleMania season. Look at that.
Why do they got a close up on me? Look
at that.
It's
Two
not
happy
personal to
winners.
AJ. It's just that
Two happy winners.
Becky is she's my forever Intercontinental Champion.
Well,
Forever.
she doesn't have a title.
Well, she'll get it back.
I don't know.
I think this is terrible. There's corruption going on in the control room right now. That's on my single shot.
Are you
Please
accusing Corrupt KC?
Corrupt KC?
Not Corrupt
is
KC.
zooming in on my face right now to get
No.
my reaction because this is actually harassment in the workplace.
You think so?
And Becky said that she's going to get her big lawyers. The big rhino is coming after. Coming after the WWE and coming after Corrupt Car. Oh, they're zooming in.
Yeah, look
And
at that.
this is Corrupt KC coming after me right now.
I think-
Zooming in on my face.
KC,
For everybody who's watching on YouTube.
she's just there. He's just there to document it.
Documenting my misery.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Now a nice slow zoom out. This is, you know what the cinema
what
right
they
there,
call
Megan.
it?
That's what they call it.
it?
That's what the kids are all calling it. Cinema. I mean, you got to admit, AJ Lee won that match fair and square.
Well, I do have to admit she had a lot less ring rust than I anticipated her having.
That's right.
I mean, to come in all seriousness, into a match with someone as accomplished as Becky Lynch, whether she is crashing out, as you say, or not, what she's accomplished in this business is completely undeniable. To come in, not being a part of this division, 10 years removed from having a singles match, in a sold-out United Center in Chicago, and to win the Intercontinental Championship, a title that didn't exist in AJ's era,
That's
is
right.
remarkable.
That's right.
It's really remarkable.
And it is it really does showcase what AJ Lee was able to do and the foundation that was laid.
I'm not happy about it,
No,
but it's remarkable.
you looked happy in the close-up.
I'm fine.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what's fine. WWE Slam. WWE Slam by Topps is offering fans the exclusive chance to collect all the nonstop, high-stakes action of one of WWE's most dangerous matches. Celebrate the chaos with the WWE Elimination Chamber box set out now. Plus, daily releases of Elimination Chamber No Escape cards featuring Randy Orton, Tiffany Stratton, LA Knight, Rhea Ripley, and more. WWE Slam by Topps is your go-to destination to build the ultimate Elimination Chamber digital collection. Download WWE Slam now in the App Store and Google Play. And I will tell you, for me, a highlight of the night was a moment that it did sound to me like a lot of WWE fans didn't quite know what to make of it. But we were talking, we were texting with the crew all day today, talking about guests. I said, I'd love to speak to this guest. I'd love to speak to this guest. I said, what if we could get whoever's in the crate to be on the show? And you know what they said to me? No human being could survive in a crate for 2 weeks, Sam. That's ridiculous, you fool. You ignorant fool. How could a human being live in the crate for 2 weeks? What are you, an idiot? I said, I don't think I'm an idiot. I don't think that was at all necessary, but I suppose I see your point. I feel like somebody could, but maybe they couldn't. However,
could you?
I believe that I could. I believe if you gave me a big gulp and a bucket, I could survive 2 weeks in that crate, no problem.
You're built different.
I am built different. What I loved is that these guys, because they didn't believe, they got their comeuppance. Not only was there a man in that crate, but there were about there were a dozen, maybe a baker's. There were about 15 people in that crate.
And there was a coffin.
There was a coffin and 12 to 15 people inside that crate for the last 2 weeks, just waiting to dance. You see Nick Aldis, and there was so much speculation as to what and who might be in this crate and what this could mean for the future of WWE and the ramifications that this crate could have. And does Johnny Gargano even know what he was laying down on top of on SmackDown? And then they opened this crate, Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce together. And you're right, there was a coffin inside the crate. And then the coffin opens, and about a dozen dancing, spooky, face-painted girls come out, just doing like almost like 1950s Munsters type dance. And then I'm hearing this voice, and he's laughing, and he's talking about being very evil. And I go, oh my God, I know that voice. Tell me it's happening. Tell me it's happening. And then boom, Danhausen appears for all of us to see. Danhausen makes his impact in the WWE at the Elimination Chamber PLE. There's Danhausen Tron graphics. He comes out. He's got Danhausen tights on and a Danhausen cape.
The song was amazing.
He's got his own Danhausen song. I mean, this is a guy who just as he appears here, this isn't some concoction that was created, okay? Just as he appears here, he was a staple of the independent wrestling scene. He has been wrestling everywhere for, 5 years or more as Danhausen. And he goes, and you know what he does? This is something that you may not be ready for, Megan, and I think a lot of people in the WWE aren't ready for, and a lot of WWE fans aren't ready for. You know what he does?
What?
He curses people. He curses people. And we've never had a superstar in the WWE that can curse people. But Danhausen curses people. And I said, will Danhausen have all the accoutrement that I know Danhausen to have if he were to get to the WWE? And you know how I know he does? Because he put a jar of teeth on Michael Cole's desk. And that's Danhausen collects teeth. And he brings his jar of teeth with him to the ring. They're human teeth that he keeps in a jar. And he'll sometimes pour them in a wrestler in an opponent's mouth and then kick him and the teeth go flying. He's got all kinds of very evil tricks up his sleeve, this Danhausen. Now I think that the WWE audience, that maybe they weren't exposed to enough Danhausen coming into this thing, didn't quite know what to make of it. They didn't know how to react to this insane thing that was. They didn't even know how this applies to professional wrestling.
Maybe they just don't want to get cursed.
And maybe they don't want to get cursed. But there's been, for years now, wherever this guy goes, you know what people do? They love that Danhausen. And I am very much anticipating the mark that Danhausen makes on the WWE. I cannot believe that we saw that pop out of the crate tonight at the Elimination Chamber.
I'm
What did you make? What did you make of Danhausen? You're not as
It was
familiar.
a spectacle.
Yes.
An absolute spectacle.
Right.
And the way that Danhausen just arrived
Yes. Yes.
with
That's a word
all of
for
the
it.
entourage.
Oh,
and
yes.
disappeared right before our eyes.
Lights go out. He's gone. And Michael Cole goes, I don't know what that was. And I think he spoke for a lot of people who didn't know, but they will. I believe that everybody will. Now, what we do know, and this is the beauty of professional wrestling, we can have very, very serious. We can have very, very bizarre. We can have a lot. We can have everything. It's a buffet. And we got very, very...
Poo-poo platter.
That's right. That's right. But it became very real tonight. We got CM Punk versus Finn Balor in Chicago for the World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, CM Punk coming out to the boom, 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 with the boom, 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 with the boom, 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 boom. It was awesome.
What an entrance. And then Ray Clay,
Yes.
the PA announcer.
For the Chicago Bulls, the 90s Chicago Bulls, announcing CM Punk in the United Center.
And that's when it really dawned upon me, like growing up in Chicago, I think of all the Chicago legends, right? Like people who could show up in Chicago and never have to buy a beer, if you will, would never have to, pay for a meal. And and I think CM Punk, especially after watching that entrance night, before this, for sure, but I felt like tonight was really special, right?
Well, what was nice for CM Punk is he never had to buy a beer in Chicago.
Well, he's
straight edge.
But a meal, whatever. But a meal,
I
you know what I
you're
mean?
saying. Of course, it's a turn of phrase.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. CM Punk's on that list.
Oh, 100%. He's. I mean,
that music's playing. He's walking out. Ray Clay, this guy.
epic.
Yes.
And he's wearing Black Hawk skier too.
the socks that looked like exactly like the
Hockey socks on
Yes.
his kick pads. Really, really cool. Just really, really cool stuff. I loved it all. Great match with Finn Balor. Finn Balor even had this moment where he looked to the entryway to consider whether or not he was going to call the Judgment Day. Michael Cole said on commentary that JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio were both in the house.
Were you a little bummed you didn't get to see Dominic?
I would have
tonight?
loved to have seen Dominic. I thought it was honorable the way Finn Balor handled himself, but I would have loved. I always love. I mean, the idea that I would have been able to see Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio on the same show.
Dream for you.
Dream for me. We did not, because Finn Balor went the honorable way, and that was good to see too. Finn Balor losing the match fair and square, and shaking hands with CM Punk after it was all over.
Finn Balor did get the better of CM Punk on one coup de grace.
Yes.
Next coup de grace,
He kicked out.
he kicked out. The next coup de grace, Punk was able to get the leg up and then
Get him into the sharpshooter.
Yes.
That was a crazy counter.
which
for the
seemed
coup
for
de
a
grace.
second, Michael Cole's is he putting him in a sharpshooter?
Right. Well, because you have to then lift usually you start the sharpshooter in a standing position. To start in a laying down position, you then have to lift your opponent's like the back half of their body with you. It's a whole other thing, but Punk pulled it off.
Yeah, he did.
And it was awesome. Big win for CM Punk. Great to see him celebrating with AJ Lee. Great to see them in the ring together, both champions. I like the handshake. I do wonder how the Judgment Day is going to feel about Finn Balor coming off of that.
What did you think about CM Punk putting the one up?
Wow, okay. Now we're taking shots. I got excited because we're taking shots. I thought it was disrespectful. I didn't love it. I don't know why AJ Lee has to put her one up too. That's a little disrespectful as well. But I said, okay, all right. CM Punk, and I mean, the idea that he would come off of an epic confrontation like that and have the presence of mind to be like, I know exactly what's next. I'm ready for it. CM Punk putting the one up, I said, that's a little far, isn't it, CM Punk? And then I went on Twitter and I said, I guess CM Punk didn't go too far after all.
Well, it was funny because I opened up Twitter and
Yeah.
I see this tweet and I
Yeah.
said, "Oh no, that has to be a fake account.
Better check that check mark."
didn't go out." So then I actually searched Roman Reigns, pull it up. Sure enough, this is indeed the tweet that Roman Reigns himself tweeted.
Yeah, Roman Reigns was watching the Elimination Chamber at home, watching CM Punk and Finn Balor. And
By the way, I'd love to see a setup.
oh, I'm sure it's amazing. Many different monitors, full-on surround sound. It's probably great. I would love to see the Roman Reigns tweet. I don't want to paraphrase this at all. Okay, this is tough. This is tough. Utter savagery on the internet. Roman Reigns tweeted, not sure who looked more tired, the crowd or the champion. enjoy this final month of relevancy. Every word of that is biting. I mean, all of it. The idea that, like, it's one thing to say you look tired. It's another thing to say the audience looked unenthused by your performance.
In your hometown.
In your hometown, and still a third to claim this is going to be it for your relevancy. I mean, if this is where we're starting on Twitter while the match is happening, and the realization sank into me immediately, which is on Monday Night Raw, this Monday, Roman Reigns is there.
He's back.
We've gotten the Roman Punk confrontation, that first one, which fueled me for 2 weeks. That's all I was thinking about. At least. All I was thinking about. I'm choosing you because I hate you. I've always hated you. And I go, I want to see this right now.
Oh, when he was talking about back at War Games, walking up the ramp, something that I didn't even notice.
No, it wasn't on television.
No,
how could you notice it?
Going back to look at the pictures of it, going back to see, oh my gosh, that did tick him off.
Everything's up here. Everything's up here. He's talking about podcasts from a decade ago. Everything is here.
And then Punk the nerve to just go out there and throw the one up.
Well, Punk is not a guy who's sitting there going like, oh, gee golly, maybe I disrespected Roman Reigns. This is who CM Punk is. I don't know how many people need to do history on CM Punk, but CM Punk is the type of guy that if you push him or you give him a reason to have a chip on his shoulder, he's as dangerous as he could possibly be. I mean, CM Punk is the perfect guy to be in this scenario because he's not going to be, especially at this state in his career, he's not going to be intimidated or back down an ounce. I mean, this is going to be two alpha animals just attacking each other for the next, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
6, 7.
Could be 6, 7 until WrestleMania. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens on Monday Night Raw following Elimination Chamber. Of course, we will be here to recap it on WWE Now, so make sure you're subscribed across all audio platforms. Make sure you're leaving comments and hitting like on YouTube. And we'll see you late night Monday after Raw for more WWE Now.